All right, welcome to the live stream. I'm Colton, and we're here on the Colton Matocha YouTube channel, and we're talking about all things photography. In this live stream, I'm going to be hanging out with you guys, talking about whatever photography-related subjects that you all want to talk about. I'll be happy to answer any questions as well, but I always love to get to hear the kinds of things that you guys are interested in photography wise. And then at the same time, we'll also be building a Lego set, Formula One Lego set, and that will relate to photography, and I'll explain why. And then also, if we have some time, I have a interesting device that I want to see if we can edit on. It is a device that is not designed for photography editing. It's more so designed for gaming, but I want to see if we can load up Lightroom and what the experience would be like in using it to edit photos. And we already have a friend here in the chat. Haven't you got a proper job yet? You know, not yet. And so I'm still in here, unhinged and wild as always. And yeah, now you have to suffer with me here in live capacity. But as always, we have a movie playing. And I'm always curious if anyone can guess what movie it is. Most of the time, I feel like you guys do guess right. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So, yeah, it's been a minute. It's 2025. And this weekend, my yearly goal setting, goal reflection video is going to come out. So I took 2 weeks off to let the holidays, sort of fade, rest up, recuperate. And now I feel very energetic and hyped, and I have a number of videos on my board to make. Some of them are at various stages in the process of being made, but I think they're all going to be really exciting. And I also, I forgot at the top of this video, I recorded, it didn't make sense to make a whole video about this, so I just recorded an unboxing of a photography item, which will be in a video, and I'm going to play that here on the live stream. I thought about unboxing it on the live stream, but I also knew that I wanted to set up and do this Lego thing, and so I didn't have enough cameras to set it all up to make it work. So I just pre-recorded. So there's going to be a pre-recorded component of this live stream, and then everything else will be live. Gay Bikers on Acid 2, David Lynch, yeah, rip David Lynch. That I just found out about that like a couple hours ago. That's a real bummer, you know. But that is also why I hate to see those what are they called? It's like basically like, you remember them from this show? Well, see them now. And it's like a comparison of when they were on a TV show and then like what age they are now. And it's like 90% of the time they just look worse because they just look like way older. And it just, I don't like those kind of posts on social media because it always reminds me that we're all mortal and one day we will die. And I used to be totally fine with that concept. And now maybe, I don't know if it's because I've gotten older and I have more health concerns, but I don't like that as much anymore. So I don't like to see people get older. But anyway, yeah, David Lynch, that's a sad one. I have a lot of friends who are huge David Lynch fans. So I haven't really opened up social media aside to just like post my little live stream teaser because I knew that there would be a lot of like really sad posts. And I wanted to stay hyped and cheery for the live stream. But yeah, a lot of news, a lot of things going on in photography world, a lot of things going on in Colton's world. We are realistically less than a week away from the gallery opening that I've been working on all year long. I haven't really posted a ton about it. I haven't really made any videos dedicated to it, so it may not seem like much has been happening, but I've been working hard to get everything framed, kind of the way I wanted to frame it, and get all of the materials printed and like artist statements confirmed. I already know I'm going to show up and be like, oh, I hate my artist statement. I already want to change it again for another time. But there is a little bit of peace that comes with it being so close. Like at this point, pretty much anything that could be done is done. And there's not much left to do except for wait for Wednesday when I actually go and install everything. And hopefully that goes well. Luckily, my father's going to help me actually physically mount everything. So should all go well. I have Thursday also technically if for some reason something happened and I needed another day to put it all together. But then at that point, I think Friday or Saturday is when it technically opens. So maybe just a hair over a week from today. Honestly, I think it will be good, but I learned so much in the process. And actually, I know that you also, John, had some kind of gallery event you were telling me about. So I don't know whether that's your first one or not, but it's like you on that first one, you learn at least enough to know what you don't know. And then by sheer act of having to do it, whether you make mistakes or you do it right the first time, it's like you learn kind of like, okay, now I have an idea. I've done like a bigger gallery because I've done like smaller ones where it's like multiple people and you're only contributing like somewhere between 1 and 3 pieces. And there's no artist statement. There's none of that. It's just like, bring a couple pieces, we'll hang them up. That's it. And then it's like with this one, okay, we're going to print your artist statement out on a wall. We're going to have your name. You're going to be hanging up like 16 to 20 pieces. And yeah, it is a much bigger ordeal to put together a gallery like that. And I mean, that's still not even the largest type of gallery. It can definitely get bigger, but I feel like I learned so much in putting together this gallery that the next one I do will be a little, I mean, not that it wouldn't be hard, but it might be a little bit less stressful just because now I know what I don't know. Now I know kind of the process of putting together art labels. I know how to frame and put my work together in a way I want. I understand the proposals that you have to put together for a gallery. I've created an artist resume that I didn't have before. I had to like learn how to do that and make one. And it's like, okay, now that's done. I have it. So a lot of those things that were very stressful are now kind of like done. The infrastructure's in place, and a future gallery maybe, just a hair easier to do than this one. But it kicks off a week from today, and it will be about a month and a half to 2 months, somewhere in that range. And there will be a reception I'm very nervous about because I love parties. I love gatherings unless they're in my benefit, I guess, or if they're about me. Then it's like, oh, that's too much pressure. Like, I love going to a birthday party unless it's my birthday party. And then I'm like, too much pressure to have a great time and to like make sure everybody feels that you gave them enough attention. And it's just never been a fan. So the reception will be fun, but it'll also be a little stressful. And then I have to do an artist talk. And I have no idea what I will say about the art, but I guess we'll find out. So plenty more stress to come, but it'll be nice to have actually done it and had it done. So super excited for that. I have a image I shared on Instagram and Facebook to invite people to the event, and I will actually be posting that as a forever post on Instagram, maybe in the coming days, just so it's there more visibly beyond just the 24-hour window. So yeah, it should be exciting. Now, gallery news aside, there's quite a few videos coming to the channel that I'm really excited about. I am going to review a few cameras, like a couple point and shoot cameras, and I'm also going to review a couple medium format digital cameras, as well as a few other little things. So a lot of really cool stuff will be coming to the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed and you are interested in any of that, then I don't know, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you so dare. But what I wanted to kick us off with here is taking a look at the end of month recap. So that was a video series I was doing on the channel, but I think it makes more sense to do it in the live stream. So we're going to jump over to, there's only 4 photos this time, but just 4 photos that I took in the month of December, and I'm just going to talk about them. All right, here we are. Here's the first one. These photos can mostly be summarized as Colton got a new filter on his lens, and he basically only used that for an entire month. But I got a Teflon Black Pro Mist filter, so it creates these halations around light sources that make them kind of glow a bit more. And I got it years ago, just never used it, and I finally took it to a carnival, and it was so much fun. So I bought another one for my Canon R7 and kind of took it around with me all of December. But this was at a pizza place called Home Slice Pizza on North Loop, I guess like up by 51st Street in North Austin. If you're a fan of pizza, if you're a fan of Home Slice in general, and you've not been to this location, you got to go. I'm not paid by Home Slice, but you really should go check it out, because it is a trip. It's like a romantic / family friendly / Pizza Hut style place. And anyway, super, super cool. But this is the kind of lighting that they have in there. So it's very moody lighting while you're eating your food. And we were waiting on our pizza, and I like turned around and I was just looking for shots to get. And I thought, because of how dimly lit it is here, I bet these lights are going to really kind of pop and have that sort of glowing effect. And they sure did. So, yeah, that's that shot. Obviously in December, because we have our December holiday lights in there. And then, let's see. This one was also pizza, but it was not at Home Slice. It was at Cidercade. And look, if you like arcades and you live in Austin and you like to play as many games as you want for $12, you got to go check out Cidercade. It's downtown on the other side of the river in the old Joe's Crab Shack. Perfect location right next to the boardwalk. So after you've had a few games and you want to go for a little walk, you can take a stroll down the boardwalk, see the beautiful city. I'm not paid by Cidercade either, but I gotta recommend that you go. And they have this wonderful pizza neon sign that I thought would also look kind of cool with this particular filter. And so I slapped that on. And when I took it, I wasn't really thinking about anything else other than the pizza. But when I reviewed the photo later, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool how you have this really blue section where people are playing Dance Dance Revolution. So I thought that was really cool. It might have been even better if someone had been like coming out of this double door from the kitchen, or just like you could see someone in there working, then it might have been perfect. And then this is also at Cidercade. And this was the hoops, which they just replaced the original ones that they had with these new ones. Like they kind of did, I think, a refresh at Cidercade. So if you haven't been in a minute, it's worth going. The floors are still deadly. They're still completely wavy. I don't know why the floors are warped so bad there, but it's absolutely a trip hazard. But they did replace some of the games. And so this was with the filter applied. So it kind of has like a little bit more of a glow to the highlights on this game. And then my girlfriend and then some random dude were both playing, and I got a shot, tried to get it like perfectly down the middle, and it was close enough. It was close enough. The machines were not set up in perfect symmetry. So even though I was in like the about perfect middle spot, the machines were just like a hair crooked. So that's why they don't look totally the same. But yeah, definitely if you're ever playing around with the camera and you're like, okay, I've got this filter that makes highlights look glowy, I should say. An arcade is the perfect place to go. An arcade, a carnival, or a dimly lit restaurant are like the three perfect locations that you could test out that filter in. All right, and then the last one, totally different from the others. This was actually shot on film while I was putting together my last piece of candy art for the gallery that's opening in a week. And I was doing this last piece. This one was a special piece for me because my brother spent a ton, like seriously a lot of time helping me frame photos because I really wanted the majority of the images in the gallery to be ones that I had hand put together. And I thought that that would give me a lot more creativity opportunities to like really be able to say like, I put this frame together. I chose the mat, I chose the glass, the frame, and I've hand assembled it. I signed the inside of all of them. And so it took hours to do, multiple days. I think there was like 4 separate days. And then at least one of those days, it was like 5 hours of work. So he really helped me out a lot. And so I very sneakily asked him, like, what are your favorite candies? I'm trying to come up with new ideas for, you know, things that I could photograph. And so he was telling me all of these candies and I was sneakily writing them down. You fool, you've just given me all the answers to make your perfect piece. Sydney's in here. Hello, Sydney. Welcome. Yeah, I am hungry too. These guys were looking pretty good. But yeah, so I secretly made this piece for my brother. And then on the very last night that we were framing stuff, I brought this one with me and we framed it. And I made sure it was like the last piece. So like mentally we were kind of like done with it. So he didn't even know or like look at it. And it wasn't this particular angle. But anyway, when we were done, I flipped it over and I was like, hey man, this one's yours. And he was like, wait, what? I should have filmed it. It would have made a great YouTube video, but it was just a nice moment. But I was like, yeah, man, this one's yours. I'm going to hang it up in the gallery. So it'll like run through the whole gallery showing. And then once it's done, we'll pull it off the wall and it'll be yours. And the way that he learned it was going to be his, I just remembered, is that when I went to sign it, I was signing the back of each of the framed images. And on that one, I signed it, but then I also wrote something along the lines of like, thanks for all the hard work, means a lot, I love you. And he was like watching me sign it and just like he was confused because at that point he didn't know it was going to be his. So he was like, thank you for all the work. And then I wrote, I love you. And he's like, what the heck? Why is he writing I love you? And then he's also thinking like, no one's ever going to see this because it's going to get covered with the protective paper. And so it was I threw him for sure. But anyway, when I shot that, I shot it on a different camera. And this particular one I shot on film. So this is from the Mamiya 645 Pro on the really large medium format film. And this is actually unedited. So this is straight out of the camera. The only influence is obviously like the Film Lab scanner when they scanned it in. but I actually haven't done any touch-ups or corrections or anything to it. But I thought, shoot, I'll include that one too. Sydney says, I love Nerds Clusters. You know what's interesting is I feel like a lot of people love Nerds Clusters because obviously, being that I've been doing this candy art series for over a year now, anytime someone brings up like the candy stuff, which is somewhat often because I talk about it a lot and I post about it on Instagram a lot, Nerds Clusters is like 9 out of 10 times the thing they'll tell me like, oh, I love Nerds Clusters. And I don't really ever get people saying like, oh, I love gummy bears, or oh, I love Kit Kats, or any of the other ones. It's always Nerds Clusters. So I would not have pictured Nerds Clusters being like the most popular, but I think at least in this unofficial survey, Nerds Clusters may be the king of candy. So I'm going to have some candy at the reception, and I guess Nerds Clusters is definitely going to have to be one of the ones that makes it in there. Oh, we got another friend of the channel in here. How is it going? Welcome, longtime viewer. We're just going through the end of the month recap for December. And yeah, happy 2025 to you as well, to everyone who's watching. So yeah, that kind of brings us to the conclusion of end of the month recap. But we've got quite a few more things in here. So we're going to build a Lego, and there's a specific photography reason why we're doing that. We're also going to look at, can we edit a photo on a gaming console? We also have an unboxing. Disclaimer, it is pre-recorded, the unboxing, but it had to be. So you'll see. So we're going to play that one as well. And then there's like 2 or 3 other things I totally forgot that we're doing. So I'm going to keep us trucking along here. Sydney says, please post date and location again of the art gallery your art will be at. Yes. So I posted it on stories, but obviously that only lasts 24 hours. And I need to make that a highlight. I need to remember to do that. But I'm actually going to post it as a post on Instagram. And then I did post it also on Facebook. But I also will probably need to text people who I know live in Austin and would be interested in going so that they have the dates as well. Or I guess I could make like a calendar, like a Google Calendar thing, and then just invite people to that. I wonder how well that works with people who don't use an Android phone. But I feel like everybody has a Google account at the very least. So yeah. So let's see. So without further ado, we're going to jump over to the video, and I'm going to unbox something in a pre-recorded format. It's fairly short. And then in a live format, I have it right next to me, and I'm going to talk about it as well. So we'll jump over there. All right. Hello, everyone. So we're going to be unboxing a item here that I got from a viewer of the channel. He goes by What Other Hobbies. And he sent me something for a video to do. And so I have the box here. We're going to open it up and take a look. So thank you to What Other Hobbies for sending this over for me to borrow and test out. But without further ado, let's open this up and see what's inside. And it is well sealed. It will be going back in this same container here. All right, so we have this honkin' guy. This is the Pentax 645Z, which is the, successor to the camera that I have, the Pentax 645D. And before we take a look at that, we also have the eyepiece for it. or actually I guess it has an eyepiece on here, but maybe it's a additional adapter depending on what you want to do. And then we have this nifty case, which has a Pentax 645 to GFX lens adapter. All right, I'll set that down here. So the adapter here is because I have the 645D and I also have the Fujifilm GFX 50S. And so with this adapter, we would be able to utilize the same lens on both systems and maybe do a little bit of a comparison between those two systems. But the big one here is the Pentax 645Z. And just taking a look at it, it looks fairly identical to the 645D. I mean, basically all of the same controls. Probably the biggest body difference is the fact that it does have this tilting LCD screen. And then of course you have your SD cards. I guess it does have, I don't know if mine has this little rubber section. I'm sure it does, but it's got an HDMI out, a DC in, a mic in, or yeah, I guess a mic in. You wouldn't mic out. And then a USB port. But it has a lot of the same stuff. It's got the tripod mount on the bottom and on the side. And it has a PC sync port. It's got a remote trigger. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it has pretty much everything else very similar. Maybe a little bit different setup here on the back in terms of these buttons. These might be slightly different. And then obviously there is a dial up here that allows you to switch between photo and video. So this camera is capable of shooting video. I believe it's locked at 1080p, so you can't go above that. But obviously the Pentax 645D had no video capabilities whatsoever. So definitely an additional capability that this camera has. But yeah, I mean, everything else looks very similar. And of course, I'll do more of a comparison between these two camera systems when we actually do that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's basically body-wise a 645D with a tilting screen and some video functions, but everything else feels pretty much the same, which is really cool. So yeah, I just wanted to unbox this and show you guys what we had here. Definitely want to do a comparison between the 645D and the 645Z because there's a lot of info online, or at least a decent amount of info about the 645Z, but there's next to no info online about the 645D until I started making videos on it. And so a natural question that I would have if I was looking into these two systems is kind of what's the difference? So definitely want to do a comparison both in terms of the physical system, but also in terms of kind of image quality, colors, all that stuff that we normally do. And then I've heard, I haven't looked fully into it, but I've heard that the 645Z has the same sensor as the Fujifilm GFX 50S. So I'll have to confirm that, but it would be really cool to put the 50S versus the 645Z and maybe also the 645D as kind of like your trio of somewhat budget-friendly medium format digital cameras. So yeah, definitely want to compare all of those. And so that's what we'll be doing. But yeah, 645Z physically pretty much the same as the 645D with a few minor adjustments. But if you were to put these two next to each other, you would be forgiven if you thought they were the same camera. So yeah, anyway, that's our unboxing for today. All right. I quickly changed my jacket and also got a haircut and styled it slightly different. I'm just really quick on these live streams. But yeah, so we have the camera here. I mean, you know, rewatching what I recorded, there's not a whole lot else to add outside of just making a video on it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, pretty much the same camera as the one that I have, but this is sent over by one of the longtime viewers of the channel for me to do kind of a comparison of. Body-wise, like I said, pretty much just the fact that you can pop out this LCD screen, so they had to rearrange the buttons a bit based on how mine was. And I will say that is kind of nice when you're shooting top down, and I shoot top down a lot, but I can't pop the screen out. So I just have to like stand really in an unsafe way to peer through that viewfinder. But on this one, I mean, you can't pop it out too much. It's not like a more modern camera, but you can pop it out just enough to see and maybe be a little safer. But the one thing that would really determine whether that's actually useful or not is to ultimately try out the live view mode, which I haven't yet done. So if the live view is good, then that feature would be helpful. If the live view is not good, then I don't know. I don't know if it would be great or not, but yeah, we'll see. It does shoot video. I can't imagine the video is any good, but we are going to test it out. We'll see what it looks like. We've got Steven in here. Wow. Steven and I guess I shouldn't give histories of every single person that jumps in the chat, but yeah, anyway, I won't then. Many of us all go way back, whether it's viewers of the channel or friends. But yeah, so that's the 645Z, and definitely I'm going to do a photo walk video with this one, but I'll also do kind of a more extensive video on comparing the image quality to the 645D. And I think that will be probably one of the big, I mean, it's probably the most requested video that's ever been on this channel. So, yeah, ultimately we'll see how it goes. Let's see. We got a few things. English, escape photographer, Simon Booth has been shooting long time with the Z. His images are stunning. That said, he's just gone to a Bladworth. He's just gone to a Blad. I don't know that word. I'm also having a hard time mentally reading right now. Worth checking out his YouTube. I will need to write that down because otherwise it will disappear. But yeah, I always like to see what other people who are shooting on kind of some of these older digital cameras are getting, because it's like you really get surprised by how high the quality is. And a camera from 15 years ago, which would be considered vastly obsolete, still punches out some pretty impressive images. I mean, I've got a camera back there from 20 years ago, digital camera, and it still looks great. Pentaxians understand our cameras are still more centric. Yeah, I think Pentax has a great setup with the dedication that people have towards Pentax. And Pentax delivers pretty frequently. Olympus, on the other hand, or I should say OM System, a lot of big fans of OM System or Olympus from back in the day, but yet, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of dropping the ball a bit. We'll see. Which do you prefer between Nikon, Canon, and Pentax? That's a good question. Oof, that's a tough one. I will say I don't have a more modern Pentax. I will say I've always enjoyed Canon. I started with Canon cameras, shot with them for a long time. Then I switched over to Sony, and then I switched back over to Canon. And I have a Canon camera currently that I'm just obsessed with, the R7. I shoot all the video with that camera. I shoot photos. It's like the perfect versatile camera. But I do have a Pentax 645D, and while it cannot shoot video and it's very slow and it's really kind of a pain in the butt to use, it just produces images that are kind of like, I don't know, that's hard to beat. And I feel like it would be really hard to choose between those two specifically. Just because, you wouldn't want to give up the video functionality, but I don't know. The images out of the Canon are really, really solid too. And that particular Canon has really wonderful color science. So it's actually kind of a perfect companion for the Pentax, because you get color science as like the priority, as opposed to other random features that aren't as important in my opinion. So yeah, Canon for sure, Pentax for sure. Nikon, I've never really shot a Nikon. I have a point and shoot Nikon, and it's really old. It's from like the 90s, or like, I think it's from maybe 2000. So that's not, I feel like that wouldn't be a fair comparison, because it's like, I think it's 1 megapixel. So it is a little bit dated, but yeah. Chelsea's in here. Oh my gosh. Wow. Are you guys all in the same room? Or y'all just in your separate homes? Hasselblad, I think. Yeah, Hasselblad, that's one I've never shot at all in any capacity, but I did once say that was my dream camera, and I think a Hasselblad H3D, or like a Phase 1, I don't know, a Phase 1 might be my dream camera, but that's like a true dream, because those things are like $50,000 plus. So I really will be dreaming about it, and that's about as close as I'll ever get. Camera quality at 1,000, professional streamer status. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe, but some of these folks can tell you there's a lot of times where the camera freezes. I forget to turn on my audio, so we're doing all right this time around. Separate homes. Wow. Okay, we're in your living room. Ooh. 2025 was going to be no new gear, but at Christmas, which Christmas is 2024, my friend. So I think you actually have succeeded so far. I was gifted with a Ricoh GXR with the 10 megapixel CCD sensor and lens modular. I feel like you were telling me about that maybe on well, it couldn't have been a past live stream, so maybe on Instagram or something. But I'm excited. I hope you post some of the images from that on Instagram. Eating your Pop Secret popcorn. Guys, you're going to be... So for those of you who don't know, I love Pop Secret popcorn. And I have some very, very difficult news to share. And if you're not seated, you should sit for this. But my HEB, and those of you who live elsewhere, I know some of you are out of the country, that is a local grocery store. And they have decided that, even though I've been shopping there for 5+ years, that they have decided to cancel the Pop Secret brand, and I can no longer get Pop Secret at the grocery store. So it's been difficult. And I haven't found a good replacement. Honestly, it's mixed out there. Favorite movie of the year? Dang, that's tough. I have to pull up Letterboxd because I don't even remember what movies I watched. Let's see. I wish you could get to diary a lot faster than you can. Okay, let's see. I have it right here. I think it was, if we're talking about a horror film, I want to say Cuckoo, even though I went and watched it with like a couple other people and they all did not like it. And it was like the movie ended, the lights are coming up. I'm like, wow, that was a great movie. And they were like, what? No, that sucked. was like, what? No. So I really enjoyed that one. And this one didn't come out. Oh, this one's not this year. But also there was another movie, Love Lies Bleeding. I really enjoyed that movie a lot. It wasn't a scary movie, so I don't normally go see those kind of movies. But Bopa wanted me to go, so we went, and I was like, dang, okay, this one was good. Like, Bopa actually picked some really good movies. So yeah, I'd have to go with favorite movie, probably Cuckoo. Movie I was most disappointed in, maybe Nosferatu, to be honest. And I know I will catch some trouble for saying that. And if anyone can guess what movie we're playing this month, let me know. Throw your guesses down below. Try the Stove Pop Jiffy Pop. Yes, I used to do the Stove Pop because I lived in an apartment that was so small I didn't have room for a microwave. So I used to do Stove Pop all the time. I may have to go back to that. But I loved with the Jiffy Pop, they also had like the mini bags, like you get 10 mini bags. And so I could have like a reasonable portion for a single person. And now I've just been betrayed by my HEB. Brittany's in here. Oh my goodness. We've got the whole crew in here. We have to do a game night. Oh, Blad equals Hasselblad. Okay, we've got the lingo, guys. New lingo unlocked. And it's lingo I should have already known, but whoops. Did you see Heretic? Yes, actually I did see Heretic, and I liked it, actually. I thought I was going to hate it because I don't like movies where people are like trapped or they're being held against their will. Ooh, I can't do those. So I was a little nervous going to see that, but I actually really enjoyed it. I think because there was so much going on with the like the mystery of it, you know? So, yeah. Colton colored flavored popcorn photos. Oh, yes. Okay. I could see that. That might be an interesting one that would be good to kind of shake up the candy series, which this weekend I have my 2025 goals video coming out, and I talk about what my goals are for this coming year photography wise. And actually the candy art series has a big spin coming, but the popcorn idea could play into that very nicely. Oh, Target has Pop Secret. Okay. Page check, see if they've got the 10-pack. The 10-pack minis would be awesome. Heck yeah. So next what we're going to do is we're going to mess with some Legos here. But first, we're going to jump back over to our studio. And we're going to try out something here. So I have this game console, but it runs Windows 11. And so I've been curious, because it is actually a pretty powerful device. So I've been curious if it could be a replacement for my laptop that died for when I go on trips. Because this year, I have a number of trips planned that have a photographic component to it. And one of them is that I'm going to go to an IndyCar race. And so I'd like to be able to, at the very least, duplicate the photos and video I take so that if something happens to the camera, they're still saved. And that got me wondering if I could use this device for that and if I could actually edit on here. So I thought we would edit a photo real quick. And I'm going to move this keyboard out of the way. So I plugged in a adapter to be able to use this keyboard. And I have a Bluetooth mouse here, but I think I'm going to try out just using this trackpad on here first and then pull it out if we need it. Hopefully you guys can see this well enough. And yeah, hopefully Danny will be. I would love to see Daniel Ricciardo in IndyCar. I've heard some news that he may be going to NASCAR. I'm a little bit of a race fan, guys, which is actually the thing that we have here. So I queued up, I did download Lightroom on here because it'd obviously be a pretty big bummer if I was like, oh yeah, we're going to edit on this thing, and then it doesn't even install the program. So I had to at least do that. And then it just sort of automatically pulled up the photo that I brought over. But this is a photo that's actually part of the comparison footage that I've already shot for the 645Z versus the 645D video. But I thought we could have a moment to just come in here and edit this. Obviously, this is on a pretty small screen, but I'm going to try to bring it a little bit closer here without losing my ability to see it. But this device is kind of cool. It's obviously a gaming handheld, but it also has a trackpad here. So you can go in and use, a mouse just like you would in real life, but I'm going to use this device here. So we have our photo. I do think, though, it's getting cut off a little bit. So let's see if we can adjust this. Wow, there's like, okay, interesting. Now I have a different version of Lightroom, so I'm also going to be kind of learning this version of Lightroom as we go. But I'm curious how far we can edit in here, because as an example, when I shot this, there's like this little speck of dust. And no matter how much I clean before I lay all the candy out, and how much, like, sometimes I will wash my face, which is going to sound crazy, but I will do that just to like make sure there's no hair follicles that are going to fall in there, whatever. And yet they still do. So I'm curious how good this tool is at going in. I wonder if it even has like a removal tool. We do have a masker. Let's see. I mean, so far I would say that it's looking like, yes, you can edit in here. So one thing that I would do on this image is I'd probably brighten it just a hair, and then add in just a little bit of contrast, maybe like +10. And then I will drop the highlights a little bit, maybe like 21. And then on these kind of shots especially, you have to be a little bit tricky with the shadows, because I like to have that shadow being cast on the candy. So that's why like I bring that light source kind of a little bit lower and shoot it really bright from one side. But you do get a little bit more perception of sharpness. I feel like, at least, when you boost the shadows just a little bit. So what I typically do in this case is I'm going to boost the shadows a hair. I'm just going to see how that looks. Probably do like 15, +15 or so. And then what I'll do is I'll go over to the blacks and drop those by, we'll say like 21. And so it doesn't make a huge difference, but it will make it look a little sharper, while also kind of still maintaining where the shadows are and not like having the shadows fade too much. It should be able to work if it loads, just not going to be fast as a dedicated laptop. Well, what's interesting in this case is that, obviously probably getting a little bit too technical, but this device has 16 gigs of RAM, but it's DDR5, so it's running at like 7,400 megahertz. And my desktop computer that I actually do the editing on, the RAM is running at like 3,200 megahertz. So it's like quite a bit slower, like basically less than half the speed of this RAM. And the flip side is that I do have a much better graphics card in my desktop, but I think actually this would be kind of snappy. And I would actually be interested in maybe doing a separate video where I edit actual video on here and see how it comes out. So One thing I typically don't do is add much sharpening because the Pentax is already so sharp, and that particular lens that I shoot with is just insane. But in this case, we'll just add just a hair of detail there. And then the one thing I would really want to know is if we can actually remove that spot, because typically that's like one of the most hardest things of this candy art series, is just going in and removing like little pieces of dust that got on there. So I see the erase tool, and I think this is going to work. We're going to say no AI, please. The AI tool in this, okay, I'm clicking around and I'm getting some weird stuff. I don't need any more tutorial. Thank you. Perfect. The AI tools in Adobe actually work pretty well, but I don't know. There's something about AI right now that just, it doesn't really get me excited. So I should say, like, ultimately you are still kind of like using AI because it's just artificial intelligence, right? And so it's in there to some degree, but the generative AI is the one that I like to avoid. And since this is the first time we've had this opened up, we're getting a lot of tutorials. But yeah, you can see how now we've removed that one little spot. I typically don't edit these much in the way of like removing dust. Well, I should say I don't edit them much in the way of like dramatically changing the photos, but I will edit out the dust because I take a lot of steps in the beginning to get rid of dust. And so to me, it's like, it's not part of my artistic intention for there to be dust on there. And I've tried everything to get rid of it. But in the act of doing the photography, you know, a hair follicle drops on there, a piece of the sugar falls off the candy, or if you had to move something, there's like leftovers, and sometimes the candy is like really hard to see that. So I usually like go through and just see if there's anything else in here that needs to be removed. And it doesn't look like it. This is a little awkward to use this touchpad. Normally you can zoom through here and like very quickly look and see. But yeah, it actually looks pretty good. So yeah. Whoops. Okay, so let's click on this again. We'll open it back up. So yeah, basically we just adjusted the exposure, really, is the big thing. And yeah, is it a touch screen? That's a good point, because it is a touch screen, and I forgot about that. So yeah, that would definitely make it a lot easier to scroll through here very quickly and see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted. And I will say also, to give this thing some credit, I think because it's a gaming device, it has like a little bit better graphics power than you know, a normal computer might have. So it's able to kind of keep up with the file and render it out at a pretty fast pace. And this is actually a file from the Fujifilm. So this is a 50 megapixel file. So what is that? That's like 200 megabytes, I think, is the size of the file. And it's rendering it with, you know, quite a bit of speed. And we can also check and see, but I think we're currently set, this monitor is 2K. So I think we're actually right now editing in 2K. But yeah, I think this looks good. To be honest, like, I don't really edit a whole lot more than that. I keep it pretty basic on the candy art. So let's see how we can export. To be honest, I think it looks pretty good. I'd love to see it on the big screen, see if there's anything else that needs to be adjusted. But we're going to go with JPEG, full size, quality, 100%. And that's pretty much all we need. So we'll export. I have no idea where this will save. Let's just throw it under pictures. Because ultimately this is just Windows 11. So whatever you can do on a Windows 11 device, you could do here. So we've exported. And I think what I may do is I'll just publish this on Instagram stories so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. So I guess I will go to Google Drive and we'll just stick this in there. Cool. So yeah, after the live stream, I'll post that and you guys can take a look and see how it looks. But yeah, basically just it's basically like a Windows tablet that's got a little more power, a little more kick to it. Honestly might be faster than my entire desktop, which is disappointing because I spent so much money on it years ago. But it's basically like a Windows desktop in a tablet form with controllers built onto the side. And the controllers are removable. So like if you wanted to use the controller but not have it physically attached, you can do that. Like they'll work wirelessly like a switch. But you could also remove them so that you could just have like a nice normal screen, I guess. So kind of cool. But yeah. So with that being said, trying to make sure I remember to do everything that I intended to do on stream. Whoops. New portable photo editing unit, plus you have all the Windows 11 and gaming. Yes. So usually I would bring my laptop with me, and that way, at the very least, I'll have an external hard drive. Every day I'll transfer stuff while I'm on a trip over to the hard drive. And that way, if anything happens to the camera, I don't, like already I'll be sad that something bad happened to the camera, but I won't have to be also additionally sad that I've lost everything. But unfortunately, that laptop completely died. I tried to use it not long ago, and it was just, it wouldn't load Windows. Like it was just totally gone. So, and it was like a cheapie anyway. But I started thinking like, I think I could maybe just use this. And then the benefit is that it's like I have entertainment for the flight because I can play games, I can watch movies. I have an SD card in there that's 512 gigs, so I can put like movies and stuff on there, music. But then it's also literally just a full computer. So there's people that are using this as their desktop computer. They'll just get like a USB-C adapter that has like USB ports and the HDMI port, and they'll plug it into the USB port like I did for this keyboard, except they'll be plugging in an entire monitor and mouse, keyboard, hard drives, you know, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty powerful tool. So we'll see. I have some trips planned here in the first part of 2025, and I'll take it along with me and see like the practical use case of it. That has an HDMI out. This one in particular doesn't have an HDMI out, but the USB-C port is USB 4, so it can transfer 40 gigs per second. So you can actually use a USB-C to HDMI to be able to connect it to a monitor or a TV. You know, like hotel rooms usually have some kind of TV in there. Sweet. So yeah, I guess the next thing here is to build this Lego set. I'm trying to think of all the other things I was going to do on the stream. I think we've done most of them. So let's actually jump back over, and we're going to also record this. All right. I'm excited for the Legos. Yeah, me too. It's been a minute. I used to do Legos like all the time when I was a kid. So this is our Lego set. It's a Formula One car that my dad gave me for Christmas this year. And it's a Mercedes Formula One car. So if you're a fan of the Mercedes team, then we're going to be putting this together. But I once told my mother that if I was ever 30 years old and I wasn't playing with Legos, that she should remind me how much I loved Legos and how much they meant to me. And she reminds me that all the time. And I'm always like, well, I just kind of outgrew them. But yeah, this will be the first Lego set I've built in, oh my God, probably at least a decade, if not more. So super excited for this. It's interesting how Legos has so many branded things now. And you almost kind of wonder how many of these sets are really actually geared towards adults, such as myself, who used to play. Now, I will say the stickers, I was always really bad at putting the stickers on. So I don't anticipate I will have improved at all, but we'll see. And this Lego set actually apparently can move. So there is some mechanics in here that we may have to figure out how to do. Get a little sip of water here. Pre-ordered the McLaren set. Yeah, the McLaren set honestly probably could go for some money too, like if you held on to it because of the fact that they won this year. I really was considering getting the Ferrari one too, since I'm a big Ferrari head. Okay, so this instruction booklet is pretty thick. It says to do bag 1. So we have 2, 3. Here's bag 1. And then we have bag 4. And then there's this, which I believe is the engine. And I don't know if we're supposed to already open this because they've got a photo of the engine here. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and open. Have you seen the Lego camera ones? Yes. And actually a lot of videos have been popping up on my feed recently of people taking photos with the Lego camera, where I think it's either that Lego camera modified or they've somehow built a camera into the Lego or into a different Lego setup. But anyway, several videos of people using a Lego camera for photography, which is really interesting. This part's kind of confusing. I don't know what's really being said here. There's a guy scratching his head and then a guy cheering. But I think it has to do with these 3 pieces, these 3 pieces here. He's looking confused. And I don't know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. But he's cheering when he's just holding 1. So I guess we'll just set those down for now. That's 1 and 2. Okay, so we're going to open up number 1. What was y'all's favorite Lego set of all time? Because odds are most of the folks watching probably played with Legos. I will say I also had the Lego Island game, which was a PC game that I got in a Scholastics book fair when I was in 2nd grade. And that game was fun. Lego Island. I wonder how many folks played Lego Island. Oh boy. Okay. So it says get one of... Oh boy. I already don't see the piece we're supposed to get. It looks like we're supposed to get one of these. And then we need... They said bag 1. Oh. Maybe it's this thing. But it says there's 3 of these. I only see 1. Oh boy. It fits in like it should. Oh, wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. There's 1 of them. Okay, so we're going to put these 2 together. So this, guys, is the first piece we connected. So, whew, we did good already. We're halfway there, man. Actually, I put my mouse away, but it looks like I am going to need that if I want to be able to read the comments here. So, Williams won next Christmas. Yep, that's what I'm saying, man. Let's do it. Come on, Carlos. Have you seen the Lego camera? Okay, yes, I did see that one. I missed the book fair. Me too. I wish there was a book fair for adults, and I guess maybe that's half-price books, but something more special than that. I didn't have any proper sets, just random Legos, and I would build a house every time. Oh, nice. Did you... Now, this is a question. Did you build the walls and, like, the roof of the house? Because I would always build the floor, and then I would do 1 row of bricks to indicate where the walls were. And then I would put doors and windows, but I wouldn't build it any higher than that so that it would still be easy to get my hands in there. But that might have just been me. I never had Legos, but I got one of the floral plant ones last year. They are expensive. Yes, they definitely are. But it was fun to put together. Yes. I'd like to do a set now. I was all about the walls. I don't think I did floors at all. Oh, interesting. So we were like totally opposite then. That's funny. Okay, so the way that this works, this makes sense. So this is going to slide into this engine. Oh, on the bottom though. See, I'm already doing this wrong. Okay, this goes in the bottom. And then we put another one in here. Perfect. I think that's going to be like our little wheels or something. Okay, so then we're going to do 2 blue on, let's see. Oh, we need this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that. Okay, yes. So this is the right piece. And so this is going to go back here. And then we're going to put it right on through. Easy enough. Well, I say that, and then I can't do it. Oh, maybe it goes on this side. I used to play with Legos every single day. I think I'm putting this on the wrong side, to be honest. So I am going to swap it. Now that I know, I just have to kind of force it in there. Favorite Lego. I do remember one year my parents got us a it was like a Star Wars. Oh, I know what my favorite one might have been. Was an X-Wing. We had like an original Lego X-Wing, and that was pretty cool. We also had this Lego what was it? It was like a... Oh boy, which way does this one go? Oh, I guess that's right. Oh, okay. Whew, that scared me. No, we did it right. Okay. Cool. We're building this little engine here. So now we need a rather large brick. Oh, this is cool. Look at this. I don't remember them doing this when I was a kid. They put the brick here that you need for this next piece, and you can literally put the brick on it to make sure it's the right one. That's cool. I guess the same with this little guy over here. I could have just done that. Wow. That's pretty impressive, Lego. Good job. All right, we've hooked that in. This is our, I think this is our little motor. It's our little engine. Okay, so now there's glare, so it's kind of hard to see, but looks like we're going to need another blue one and this interesting thing, this pipe. And so this is going to go, it can't possibly fit in there. Oh, it goes in here. Perfect. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that leaves 3 left over, so that's right. Beautiful. And then we put in there one of these guys. I never really built Technics sets that much. So this is kind of new for me. These are different kinds. This is a different kind of Lego than I'm used to. We should have collaborated to build a full house. I think it's shocking how like almost perfectly those would have connected, like me with just the floor and one layer of wall, and then you with just wall and then a roof, and it's like clicks right into place. Okay, so now Colton Chelsea just said she's getting influenced to buy a Lego set. Yes, if you could use my affiliate link in the description, then that would be great. Okay, so we built that. I guess it's saying separate from that, we need another big piece. So we got that, and we put one little guy in on the end. That doesn't fit, so these are going to go together like that and then slide in here. Got it. Okay, cool. Perfect. It looks harder than it is. It's a little easier than it looks or something. And then there's one of these as a cap. Oh, okay. Technics were always harder for me, but this is straightforward enough, I think. This is gonna be cool if this thing actually like moves, which is what it sounds like it's gonna do. Okay, and then these go together, it looks like. Cool. Any guesses on the movie that we're playing this week? And then 2 blue ones from either side. I'll give you a hint. It's got to be from the 90s, the movie. Oh my God, I absolutely will. Lego sponsor him. Was the yellow Lego hoodie, was the Lego yellow hoodie a hint? Oh, this is actually a Reebok hoodie. But I should have had a Lego hoodie. That would have been smart. Okay, sets that Lego currently has. They have a series called what is it called? It's Lego City, I think is what it's called. I always wanted one of those so badly when I was a kid. Because I just thought they were so cool that it was just as simple as like a gas station. Just literally a gas station, or it'd be like a house or a bus stop, you know, just random stuff like that. And so I always thought that was really cool and much better than all of the branded stuff, like this, even the Star Wars Lego or the Harry Potter Lego or any of that. I was always more interested in just the regular city, but they didn't have it at the time. They had it, but they discontinued it. And then now when I go to a store that has something Lego based, they'll have Lego City, and I'm like, dang, man, only a few decades too late, I guess. I would have loved that. Okay, so we're building, I think what we're building here is essentially the chassis, which is interesting, although I think I'm putting this together kind of, oh, duh. Okay. I'm getting a little faster, a little better as we go here. Slide that bad boy in. Okay. What are you guys doing for this weekend? did you ever play the Lego Star Wars, Batman console games, Wii, PS4, Xbox? I don't think I ever played Lego Star Wars. I played Lego Island and Lego Island 2, and then there was this really cool game called like Lego Constructors or something, and it was just basically building Lego sets in like a computer rather than physically. But it was, oh my God, so much fun. But my computer was a piece of crap, like a beige computer. It could not play it, so it would just like constantly glitch out. But it was like you literally assembled the bricks in the video game. It's so cool. But I think maybe I did play like Lego Star Wars or something. I've never owned it, but maybe I played it via like someone else's console or something. I feel like I had to have, because I'm very conceptually aware of them for sure. Okay, these ones are going to go, looks like just right here. Oh, and then they'll probably be reinforced. I see. Smart, smart, smart. Gotta have strength in this car. Otherwise, it will fall apart when it hits the Formula One level speeds, you know? Okay. So, do you like the word chassis or chicane more? I think maybe the chicane, because it's newer for me. The chicane, I feel like you can also, I love to like try to do impressions of like the Formula One, not so much drivers, but like the commentators or the team principals. We've got the good Formula One car. Let's see. Okay, I think we flipped this one over. And then this one, it looks like goes in Lewis Hamilton. He wanted a faster car, so he had to go to Ferrari. It's hard to say. Okay, yes. Perfect. We've got the chassis down. Are you performing this weekend? I am. We had a really awesome show last weekend, so I'm actually really hyped up for this weekend. But I think one of the secrets was that I took a nap, and that can be really risky, but I took a nap, and I think I just maybe perfectly timed it, where I was able to have like 2 hours to wake up from the nap and really get kind of back up to speed and like, all right, let's get this thing going. And so it worked out, at least from my standpoint, because then I felt like I could just do anything almost, you know, show-wise at least. So I'm really excited for this show. I was talking to the troupe like, hey, we should do some stuff for like marketing and like really start to think about that. Oh, you do 2 of these pieces. Well, why didn't they just make one really big one? Maybe there's a reason here. Okay, so you take these. Okay. Right. Weekend plans. Hopeful it warms up. Been below freezing every day, I can imagine. Luckily not down here, but we might get snow this week. Trying to get out, but everything is frozen and gray. Yeah, I feel like that's something that would make me not want to live north as much, because I like the north and it gets so hot here, but I feel like you also never really have a time where you can't go out and do stuff here. You just basically always have the opportunity to leave your house. Oh, good. Yeah, Toto Wolf. I love talking in Toto Wolf. Sometimes I'll just talk to myself as Toto Wolf, and it's a good time. Don't forget the clang, the rubber. Yes. Well, we have tire rubber here too, and it's actually pretty rubbery. I mean, it's legit. They're no Pirellis, but I feel the grip here. I think we're gonna get some pretty intense grip. What daytime theater is the next show? I thought you were gonna put a period after live. Period after live. I'm missing something here. What's a period after live? Live period? I don't get it. I'm too dumb. The next show is this Saturday, 8:30, Fallout Theater. Come at me. Improv based on your Instagrams. I think you guys have seen the show a couple times, though. Okay. We get this piece. And we get this piece. And we get, I guess this one. Why not? So we, whoa. Careful. Okay, so that goes in there. And then we take this one, it looks like. Oh, wait, no. Put it in like that. And then this one comes at an interesting angle. Ooh la la. I think I did it right. Ah, and then this now comes on. Oh, yeah, the weather. No, the weather would make you not want to live. ... Up north. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. And so I had a nice long pause to really make everyone a little nervous. He doesn't want to live. Why? It's too late for me. I've done all I can do here on this plane. Oh, this one's kind of conceptually weird to see. I guess it's saying put it like this. I wonder if this is going to have like a suspension. Okay, so one time when I was still working retail, my boss got fired because we were all committing acts that would enrich us. And we weren't supposed to. But anyway, the guy that they replaced him with was a huge fan of Legos. He was like a huge nerd about it. And he was telling me how he built like Lego machines where there was like an actual mechanical component to them. And it was interesting. I was like, oh, that's cool. And now here we are. We've got a little motor ourselves. So, okay, based on this is a little confusing here. What? Oh, they're saying like back here? That can't be right. This wouldn't fit. Huh. Unless... What in tarnation? Oh, maybe I'm holding it. No, I'm holding it the right way. I didn't expect a Lego would be testing my my brain power here to this extent. Does it, oh, maybe it goes in like that. But that doesn't look right. Huh. Oh, wait. Oh, help me. Okay, I'm gonna... I don't think I'm doing it right, but I'm gonna stick it in like that, and then let's just pretend that that's how it goes for a second. And then it looks like there's a... Oh... Yeah, okay, that could be. No. No, that doesn't look right. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, that can't. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Could it go in like that? Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. There we go. Oh, we did it. We did it. Okay. We're cooking with grease again. Got a little scary there for a minute. Thought I was going to become stupid, but it looks like we're okay, I think. So we got that, and then we need to get this and plug it in here. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Whew, I panicked there for a minute, guys. Let's see. For me this weekend, I will be watching Wolfman, which I'm excited about. I haven't looked into anything related to it, so I know nothing going in, which is, I think, going to be good. And, oh yeah, here we go. Yes, here we go. If I can just get it to go in. Oh my God. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I was breaking one of the pieces, but I'm not that strong, so we're good. I'm going to watch Wolfman. I am going to be going out and doing a lot of photography so that I can kind of catch up on some of the things I need to have done in order to make these videos possible over the next couple weeks. But between those two things and then my show, I've done a lot of cleanup and organizing while indoors using a stand-up desk, did the cord management, added additional clamped on storage so everything is portable on wheels. Ooh, okay. That's what I want. My company that I work for was actually giving away some desks, and they had wheels on them. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get one of those because they were stand-up. And I got one, and it turned out it did not have wheels. And you might be wondering, well, Colton, wouldn't you have noticed that when you grabbed it? And the answer to that is that I should have, but I didn't. I was just like trying to get the desk, and it was not fully assembled, so I'll use that as a excuse a little bit. But yeah, now this is interesting. It has like a little picture here that shows like some arrows pointed towards something, but then it doesn't mention doing anything about that. So I guess I just won't, I'll just look at the nice image and move on. But yeah. Okay, so now we need to do this yellow guy. And it looks like they're saying go through. Wait, can this fit through here? It can. It doesn't want to, but it can. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's to connect, to lock them all into place. Gotcha. Okay, there we go. We're locked in now. I lost my tea. I had a whole cup of tea here and it's gone. Yeah, I would love to get now wait a minute. We got 3 or 4 pieces left over and it's already telling me to open up the next bag, so I'm a little nervous about that. But okay. Maybe it's extras. It's been a while since I did Lego sets, so I don't remember if they gave you extras or not. I would love when I redesign this studio space, instead of having over there where I've got the table that I photograph on, I have like the backdrop built into the wall and everything. It's like, I would love to get that thing on wheels. That would be really nice. And that way I could move it around and it'd give me a little bit more flexibility. Maybe even something that could like fold up. I don't know. Maybe a folding table might be a better way to go. That way it like cleans up easier. Because as it is now, it just kind of sits there. Okay, so now we're going to put this little piece in on one of these sides. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just do it on the same side that the picture shows. Oh, they're showing actually to put one of the stickers down. I'm scared about these stickers though, guys. I wonder though if you should do them now. Like if you wait too long. Do you do the stickers at the end or do you do them as you go? I don't usually do that. I guess I do the stickers at the end, but okay, so now we're going to get this little brick. And it looks like we need one of these guys. Oh, as I go, I was going to say at the end. So we've got one vote for at the end and one vote for as I go. I'm just worried, like I would prefer to do it at the end, but I'm worried that you'll get, or that I'll get to the end and then some of the stickers I'll find would have been easier to do, you know, as I went. And it is already showing me a sticker on here. I don't know. I guess I am going to, maybe I was supposed to put the sticker on even a while before. But I feel like it would have told me, oh, maybe it did. Maybe that thing that I vaguely remember seeing was a sticker. Yes. Oh, my God. Okay, it did tell me to do it as I went. Because, guys, look. On this page, it's showing the piece, and then it showed this little sticker thing, number 6. And I was like, number 6? What does that mean? Well, number 6 is the sticker. So, whoops. I guess we can try to do it before we get too much further along here. So let's just, oh boy, gosh, the stickers looking lopsided is always what makes these look like shit. And yeah, it's going to be so far down in there. It was a thing where you can we disassemble this at all? No, this does not want to come apart. Okay. Shoot. Well, hey, at least we noticed. Oh, that looks bad. Let's go further down. Oh, the stickers. Okay, that's not bad. It doesn't look great. But it looks about like the photo. And I've already laid it down, so. Okay, that one sticker, but all the rest of them I'm going to make sure to do. Okay. Let's see the sticker. Let's see if we can get it in focus here. So it's a little higher up than it's supposed to be, but based on the image I'm looking at over here, I think it will still be okay. And we've learned a lesson. Okay, so now we flip it over. We do the other side. So they're just doing it side by side. That's good. If this thing actually can like drive and go fast, I should build like a little ramp and shoot it off the ramp. That'd be fun. Okay. And then we need, I think this one. Yep. And this thing. And then the movie that we're playing in the back is The Sphere. I don't know if anyone remembers The Sphere. It has Dennis Hoffman in it. It's got Samuel L. Jackson in it. Forget what the lady's name is. Is it Sharon Stone is in this movie? It might be. I think it actually is Sharon Stone. They're like the three mains. But it's a pretty good movie. Okay, so this goes like that, and then we lock it into place. Never seen The Sphere. Yeah, it's a good one. If you like scary stuff, but you don't want to go too scary, then this would be a kind of, I would say, perfect film. Might be doing a collab project using 120 film with a group of people. Film will be sent to us. Oh, that's nice. But the subject is going to be hometown. I have a few 120 film cameras. Same group did the Super 8 project. How did the Super 8 project come out? I think that's really cool too, because having like group projects like that. One day, if I ever set up like a Discord, it'd be a cool opportunity to do some group-based projects. Okay, so I guess we've built this little thing, but we're maybe just setting it aside. Oh, wait. It does show these, 2 of these. It doesn't show them on there, though. Or does it? No, I guess this goes... Huh. Oh, yeah, it covers that. Gotcha. And then through the bottom, we send one of these bad boys. And then we connect these facing this way. Got it, got it. I'm reading a book, and it's a scary book, per usual. But it's really good. It's a new author, and I don't normally try out a lot of new authors, so I'm excited to see. Oh, and then this is going to go somewhere. Where does this go? I guess right up here. Huh. Oop. Oh boy. But if it went... Oh no, it goes down there. I see. I see. I wonder if it's fun to make Lego instructions, or is it stressful? Surely someone finds it really enjoyable to like build Lego sets and then show other people how to do it. Google says yes, Sharon Stone. Nice. Actually, Queen Latifah's in this movie also. Went very well. Took a long time for people to shoot, but using expired film made it a surprise. Posted the scan on my YouTube channel. Ooh, I have to check that out. Did it have a narrative? Did it have a narrative, I should say? What book? The book is called The Whisper Man, and it's by Alex something. I forget his name, but The Whisper Man. So far, it's maybe not like as much a horror. I mean, it's horrific. It's honestly more horrific than a regular scary book because it's like more realistic, but it's not as scary in that sense. It's a little more of like a mystery almost. But the characters are really good, so I'm enjoying it. Okay, so we do those 2, then we do these 3. Usually I read a lot of Dean Koontz books, but I didn't want to run out of books of his to read. I didn't want to like blow through an entire author in a year or 2. And since I read like 5+ of his books, I think I've probably read over 10 of his books in the last like year and a half. So I had to slow down somehow. Okay, so this one goes on the back here. Now I actually have a purpose for this. So in addition to getting this set, I also want to photograph this Formula One Lego and do a little video where we're photographing a Formula One car, and it's a Lego set. So we will be a bit challenged. We'll be shooting kind of more of a macro type of situation. and have to try to find like I'm interested to decide if it's going to be something where I'll build a physical set and put the car in it and then photograph it, or if we'll photograph it and then try to sort of like green screen in like a more realistic environment or something like that. I think both ways would be equally fun and challenging in their own way. Excuse me. You know when you get the Lego sneezes. Okay, so now we're gonna slide on these. We were given a word selected for us. Mine was empty, never shot Super 8, nor use a Super 8 camera. Yes. And then what is the project is hometown for the new one. Is it up to you to decide how to interpret that? Okay, this one we use a gray tool. And then we use one of these. And it looks like it goes along the wing. Okay, this wing's definitely going to require a sticker. God, there's so many stickers. I'm nervous about the stickers, guys. Oops. Oh. You just stick it right together. Got it. Cool. Okay, it's sticker time. Yep. Alrighty. We have to put on the Team Viewer, which my company actually is a reseller for Team Viewer, and we are also a direct competitor with Team Viewer. So, oh, come on. Oh, man. Oh, this is hard. Oh, oh my God. I guess that looks okay. Come on, come on. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks okay. That didn't come out perfect, but it looks good enough that we'll survive. Whoop. Okay. I think we're halfway there, maybe. So then this should connect into these. Cool, 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 cool. All right, and then these connect into these. Very cool. Kind of got to get them to sync up just right, though. What was everyone else's favorite movie of the year? How many Gladiator 2 heads do we have? Okay, we have that installed. Oh, now we have to do another 2 of these. Oi, oi, oi. Petronas. Okay, that was a little high. It doesn't look like you can really unstick them though once they go on. Oh, wow. Okay, I just did this other side literally perfect. And they look close enough once again. I don't know how. Once I take a photo of them, then when it's much closer up, you'll be able to see how unsynced they are. But Sing Sing, I don't think I've seen that one. Did it come out recently? And then my thoughts on wait a minute, what the heck? Oh, we missed a step. I knew it. Oh, we missed a big step. Oh no. Oh boy. We gotta pull the front wing off. Okay. So this was supposed to go. Oh gosh. Get in there. Okay. Whew. And then on this side. Does it go like that? What? Yeah, it does. No, I'm doing something wrong here. What the heck? Oh. I guess this goes this way. There we go. Okay, we're back on track. And then we can just slide this bumper back in place. Not a bumper, actually. A wing. Front wing. Yeah, Sing Sing came out around this summer, I think. What's it about? Really need to know what you think of the substance. I need to share my letterbox with you guys. I letterbox every movie. Yeah, the substance, really, really good. Plot was amazing. Acting was amazing. Just the general story was really interesting. But the gore component, you know, may surprise, but it was a bit much for me. And actually, there were people who were getting up and walking out of the theater during the movie. And I kind of wanted to be one of them, to be honest. I mean, and that's weird because I like zombie movies a lot. And obviously, there's quite a bit of, you know, gore in a zombie film. But for whatever reason, I was just like, oh man, this is grossing me out so much. It was very hard for me to take. So I ended up not rating it highly, but I always do kind of like to preface that because some people that I know have gotten mad at me for rating something low. But I have to tell them, like, well, it's not the rating I think as far as the quality of the movie. It's just a rating of like how I liked the movie and if I would ever watch it again. So it's almost like a list so that I can, oh, I just did this upside down. Okay, well, we can fix that by just reversing what we've done here, I guess. So it's like, it's an archive for me to be able to go back in time and say, oh, I really like this movie. I should watch it again. Oh, these are going to be so small. How are we going to push them out? Okay. So yeah, that may not be what most people want to hear. But I would never watch The Substance again. That said, I did go and tell like multiple people, hey, you got to go watch this movie, because it would be situations where I was like, I know this person would love this. Like my brother was like, you're going to love this movie. You need to go watch it. I'll never watch it again, but you definitely would enjoy it. And he did. Okay, we got 2 more stickers. 21. 21. Oh, 21. Okay. Oh, let's make sure we install it correctly this time. That doesn't look right. Do they mean 22? Gasp. I'm actually thinking about going karting this Tuesday because they have buy one, get one free at K1. And it's been a minute since I went to K1. I've been going to pinballs a lot, which the go-karts there are just like, you know, not really intended for maximum speed and everything. But it's fun because they have a little go-karting tournament that's enjoyable. And I've been enjoying participating in that. Oh, interesting. Oh, cool. Okay, so this is going to go like that. And this goes through the Pirelli's sign. Oh, I missed a few here. Let me jump back. Kimi Antonelli and George Russell will be racing for, yep. And that was a big deal. This year we're going to have a lot of rookies in Formula One. I think there's like 6 rookies who are going to be racing, which I'm really excited for because I think there's going to be some, not drama per se, but there will be some exciting results. Anything could happen when you put that many rookies in. But I will say I do wish Carlos Sainz had a chance to go to Mercedes or Red Bull, just to keep him at the front of the pack because he deserves it. But I think Kimi's going to do well. It'll be interesting to compare to George. Okay, we got more stickers. We're in our stickers era now, I think. So AMG, the red one goes on this side. Oy, oy, oy. Some of these oddly shaped ones are really hard to line it up. I actually did a pretty good job on that one. Not too shabby. It's about incarcerated men doing theater. Oh, yes. Yes. I do remember seeing previews for that. Yeah, that's one that I'm interested to see. Like, I'm very picky about what I'll go see in the theater because it's like I'll only see horror movies in the theater for the most part. But, oh my goodness. Okay, that was risky. Put it down. Oh. Good enough. But yeah, that's one I'll definitely rent when it hits We Love Video or when it hits streaming because it looks good. Okay, this is coming together. This is looking not too bad here. Stickers are mostly, they're there. The end of The Substance was almost unbearable. Yeah, for me, it was. I feel like I did close my eye. The back thing where they're putting the needle, I don't want to get like too much, but it's like the same place over and over again. Is like, oh, I can't do it. Oh, I can't do it. Oh boy. boy. Yeah, and once again, we have quite a few pieces left over, and that's making me a little bit nervous. But I feel like I've done everything in the order it said. It's all pretty secure. I need other people to watch it just so others can understand my pain. Yes. Yeah, that's definitely a movie that you almost want to like share and be like, oh, look, you got to see this movie. It's almost like, forgive me, it's like a fart where you're like, this smells so bad and I need other people to also smell it so they can appreciate how bad it smells. Okay, bag 3, folks. To be honest, I have not been to a movie in like 10 years. It's been increasing, or I've just been increasing my physical media collection. Yeah, I got a little physical media collection as well, which is nice. Always love to have movies on standby, and it's enabled me to do some movie nights, which are fun. I need to do more of them. I'm hoping I'll move into a place soon that has a little more space where I can do a little bit larger movie nights. Oh, it's these pieces. Oh, you know these pieces are going to have little tiny stickers I got to put on. Yep. Okay. It's these ones. Oh. Chaos. Colton, have you been to the Texas F1 race? You know, I never have. I have been to that track a number of times to see races, but never Formula One races. And I would really like to. It's kind of expensive, but you know, if I had gone this year, it would have been really fun because Ferrari won. That would have been nice. I would have enjoyed that. I'd have had a good time. Definitely would have felt like I got my money's worth. So I don't know. Maybe if this year is as competitive as the last couple years have been, then maybe I will say, you know what? I'll go to Austin. I would have to do. You'd have to do the race, but I forget if Austin's a sprint race or not. Oh, that's interesting. These ones, the stickers on the inside. Okay. Okay. So let's attach. I don't know if I'm getting better at the stickers or if I'm just giving up on the stickers. It could be either way. I'm definitely applying them at a much faster speed than I was before. I think because it's black on black too, though, it does hide if I miss putting it on exact, which is great. I love that. Wonderful design. Okay, so we have those on. So now we need to add 2 blues to the side here. I'm really interested to go to an IndyCar race. Like historically, IndyCar is one of those where you get a higher likelihood of having an interesting race because it's kind of anyone's game. Like you never really know who's going to win. And you'll have very frequently a lot of different winners, whereas for... Oh, I wonder if I was supposed to... Oh, I see why that thing was pointed inwards. It wanted me to just like... Oh, gosh, can't get them in there, though. It wanted me to insert these so that it would lock this into place. Now, come on now. Get on in there. There you go. Oh, come on. As a family, oops. There we go. Got it in. As a family, we go to Watkins Glen. Vintage Auto Weekend. They do a recreation of the original F1 race plus all the vintage cars to photo. Yeah, now that would be fun. That would be really fun to be able to go, and I would enjoy that definitely. Yeah, I guess that one does go there. And this one goes here. There's another group called SCCA. They do some kind of like Formula vintage, and those are really interesting vehicles because they are very easy to get spun around. And I watched a race recently where they had multiple spin outs, and there was like a driver who spun out twice, but each time he saved it. And it was just very impressive to see. He did not win the race, but he led at one point. Oops. Oh, come on. Come on. Ooh, this one's fighting me a little bit. Oh, come on. Oops. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, wow. I didn't think we were going to make it out of that one alive. Okay, I think we've got the sticker on. So where does this go? This goes up here, it looks like. Oh, come on. Okay, perfect. And I'm willing to bet it's going to want us to do the other side now. Yes, and we have to put the sticker on. We're halfway through the stickers, guys. Halfway through my pain. I'm very interested because I saw it was a rumor at one point, and it is no longer a rumor. But Fujifilm is doing like a sorry, connecting this in. I can't think of the word, like an attached lens digital medium format camera, which is very interesting to me because you can imagine it's probably going to be expensive. And you'd think if you were spending that much money on a medium format camera, you would want, but you know, actually I was going to say you'd want one that you can change out the lens and use it for like a very professional use case. But at the same time, Phase One has actually done a camera recently that is pretty much a fixed lens. I forget what it's called. Oh, am I not supposed to push this in all the way? I guess not. That's kind of weird. Whatever. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And then we need to put on a sticker. Petronas. We were so fortunate to have Lewis Hamilton on the team for so many years. But, you know, we're very into Kimi Antonelli. He's going to be the next Max Verstappen. We love Lewis, but it's also like, you know, get the fuck out. It's time for someone new. Oh, wrong piece. Correct piece. This is kind of cool. Okay. So we have that, and then this goes somewhere. Oh, maybe it goes right there. It looks like it does. Wow, okay. We're cooking with grease. And then we take one of these rubber boys. Huh. And it goes somewhere. How would it do that? Definitely goes in the back. That just looks like it sticks out weird. But okay. If you say so, Mr. Lego instruction manual. Wait. Oh. Oh, yes. We almost skipped a whole page. I should post some of the photos, but it was back in the day with a 2.1 megapixel Kodak digital. Honestly, though, Instagram would be a good spot for you to post something like that, because I feel like when you have a camera that's only, 1 megapixel, 2 megapixel, something like that, it's so much less obvious on Instagram. And so you can kind of, oh, I didn't do this on the other side. You can kind of get away with it a little more, So I feel like that's almost the prime facility for such an image. Okay, and we did that. And then we do this side now. It's kind of hard to talk and not mess up. But yeah, I would love to see those. Like a Fujifilm X M5, but with a fixed zoom lens. It's like a rangefinder type medium format. So it's a GFX camera. So medium format GFX, but it has a fixed lens. And I think it is a prime lens. I think it's like a 23 millimeter. So it's like you have a medium format camera that's locked at 23 millimeters, which is what phase 1 did. Something very similar, a wide angle. Oh, no. Oh. A wide angle. Oh my God. Don't drop it. Lens. Which I could see there being a market for it, in all honesty, but I'm also just surprised. Like, I wouldn't want to spend a lot of money on a medium format camera to be kind of like locked into one thing. But I guess it would be less aimed at the professional market anyway. It would be certainly more towards the enthusiast market. Okay, we have those attached, and that's plugged in. And now we do this little guy. Oh, putting it in the wrong spot. Boom, boom, boom. What's everyone's favorite snack? I might have to go Cheez-Its. If you've ever mixed Cheez-Its and a pretzel together, ooh, buddy. Imagine a digital box camera with a large square LCD screen, waist shots with a manual focus lens. That's true. Chocolate covered walnuts and pickles. Ooh. Walnuts are really good. Chocolate, of course, goes well on anything. Although I'm not a big chocolate guy. Pickles are great. Do you ever do the Clausen pickle? It's like a specific brand. They have them in like full size and spear and Slice, I think, is the other one they do. Pink Lady apples. Speaking of apples, big one for me is because I love a good apple and a good banana. Cosmic Crisp apples. Have you guys had those before? Oof. My goodness. They're so good. Popcorn. Yeah, popcorn. That's a classic. You can't go wrong with popcorn. Unless your HEB gets rid of it. Been eating anything with ginger. Oh. I feel like the only time I eat ginger is when I go get sushi and it just comes with it. Clausen is my favorite. Yes. God, Clausen's so good. It almost makes you wonder, like, how does anyone else even make pickles? Like, how does Clausen not just constantly sold out? And now it makes me mad if I bite into a pickle and it's not the most crunchiest pickle of my life. I'm like, how dare you? We had another caramel or caramel? I think I say caramel. I don't think I say caramel, but that's one of those where as soon as I wonder what I say, then I'm like, oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. This is going to be back at the engine. Flip this around. What the heck? Oh, okay. I see. Okay. And now we reverse it. Wait a minute. Oh, I guess that's where those other extra pieces come into play. Yeah, because set 3 didn't have enough pieces to complete it. That was scary for a minute. Let's see. What else do we have here? We got a few more coming in. Oh, haven't tried, but I'll take the rec. Yeah, definitely Cosmic Crisp. Got to try them. Honey Crisp is good. Granny Smith. Yep. It's interesting how there's like a million versions of red apple, but I feel like Granny Smith is the only green apple. I mean, saying that, I'm probably not remembering right, and there's probably plenty of green apple, but varieties, I should say. Okay, and then this naturally would just slide right in here. Perfect. Okay, now we're really getting the body of a car here. This is starting to really look like a vehicle. So yeah, we're getting somewhere. Hot take, Honey Crisps are bad apples. Ooh. Caramel, caramel. Okay, so we have one for caramel and one for caramel. Homemade chocolate chip cookies. Oof, that sounds so good. I'm thinking of them being like warm and kind of like soft. Oh man, that just took me back to a time when that happened. The town I live in is where it was invented. Oh, I think I doxed myself. Yeah, it's time to change your address. It's time to get a new computer. Witness protection. At least look into it. Winter baking is the best. It really is, especially when it's cold out and so you're in like a warm kitchen. Okay, so these two slide. Whoa, these two slide in here, and then they go into this thing, and into both of these. Okay, interesting. And then I feel like this is kind of hurting my hands now. Like my fingers are getting a little bit sore from having to push on these little tiny pieces of plastic. But it shall all be worth it here. Okay. So this goes in. Did I do that right? Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, my shutter finger. I'm sorry, I can't do the work. I injured my finger on a Lego. I should call in sick tomorrow. Hey, boss. I'm not going to be able to make it. There was a tragic accident last night. Oh boy, sticker time. Which way would this go? Oh, I guess it would go like that. There's a TV show I've been really enjoying, and a new season just got uploaded to Netflix, and it's a show called Evil, where it's like a team of investigators who investigate supernatural events, but they're doing it for the church. And the church is willing to basically say, like, look, you know, you're our assessor, and so your job is to kind of go in and assess, like, whether these things warrant an exorcism or not. And most of the time they don't. So, like, every episode, it will seem like, oh my God, we finally found proof. This might actually be real. I don't think we can debunk this. And then by the end of the episode, they kind of end up debunking it. But as the episodes have gone on, they're now getting into situations where they can't debunk a lot of the stuff that they're experiencing. And one of the characters is like really struggling with that, but they're all starting to like experience stuff. But then you as the viewer, you know, normally I'm missing something here. How did they connect this? What the heck? You as the viewer, you know, you're led to believe that that maybe it is real or maybe it's not real. And every episode you're like, wait, so is it real then? No, okay, it's not real. Oh wait, but now is it real? So you're like kind of going back and forth a lot. And it's just, I don't know, it's really interesting. Okay, maybe this piece. Yes, no. Yeah, it looks like this piece should go over it, but it can't physically fit because it's a different kind of port. Huh. But they also don't really show the installation of it, unless they're just like letting it rest here. But that wouldn't make sense because it wouldn't be locked in place. Huh. Well, but yes, okay, they did add this. I didn't see them do that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that makes sense because then this can slide in here and then we can push these in. Ow, my poor fingers. God, that does hurt a lot. Okay. Goodness. Dang, this does not want to go in there. This is the Halo system that we're installing so that... Oh, I'm installing it wrong though. We're going to get George and Kimmy killed. We got to install this correctly. Okay, there we go. The Halo has been installed safely, so they won't be injured. All right, on to our final bag here. This took way longer than I thought. How long have we been going? I usually can see the time, but I can't see it. Or maybe I'm just looking in the wrong spot. Oh, maybe this is just too far down. Oops. Almost 2.5 hours. Woo. Okay, final bag. Final bag alert. Hey, but I need to recycle that plastic, although I'm sure it's not recyclable. Okay. So time for this piece. going to install 2 of these. Yeah, yay, the Halo. Do I believe in ghosts? Ooh. It's Mr. Jenkins, the janitor, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. You're almost to the finish line. I know, we're almost there. My poor fingers. Do I believe in ghosts? Well, I don't know, guys. Typically I say no, although I would love if ghosts were real. But I did grow up in a house that had a lot of weird stuff that I still can't explain to this day. That was not pleasurable to experience as a young lad. Wait a minute. Oh. Huh. Is it saying just flip this thing? I think it's saying just flip it over because I don't see those pieces again. So I guess we just put this on the other side. When I was a kid, I always had like weird stuff happening in the at night especially, but just like in my room as a kid. And I'll never forget that when I was in school, and this was probably maybe 7th grade or 6th grade even, so I was pretty young. And gosh, I did this one crooked, and I've already messed it up by trying to undo it, so I'm just gonna have to stick with it as is. Dang it. Ghost photography was popular in the early 1900s, but there was mostly double exposure. Yeah. Well, when I was a kid at school, it was like a teacher had talked about how you can do lucid dreaming. And I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. And, you know, you're a kid. So like if a teacher tells you something, you're just like, oh, so it's a fact. So lucid dreaming is real. And I would say actually it is real because I did do it. But I went online and I looked up like what is lucid dreaming? How do you do it? And I read like, okay, you got to keep a dream journal and write in your dream journal. And then making sure I do this right. Always write in your dream journal, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what I did. Got a little dream journal. And the way the rules are supposed to work is anytime you wake up, you write in your journal and you have to write as much as you can remember about the dream that you just had. And it doesn't matter. I mean, no matter how tired you are and how much you don't want to, do the journal, you have to write it down. And then when you're awake and you're just going through your normal day-to-day life, periodically through your day, you have to stop and ask yourself, is this a dream? And then have some vehicle to verify if it is or not. And the most popular one I read online, so they're just the one I went with, is the palm of your hand. Because the palm of your hand, it's got too many lines and wrinkles, and when you're in a dream, you can't create that very easily. And so that's like a good way to, sort of check that you're not dreaming. And then the final thing is that when you are lucid dreaming, you have to have a method to wake yourself up. So if you end up getting into a scenario where it's a bad dream or something, then you have a tool that you can leverage to wake yourself up in that event. And so for me, I did the hand. And when I was a kid, I had a lot of recurring nightmares of one particular thing. And my mom had told me, I'm sure she was just like over it, just wanting me to like not wake up all the time and be crying or whatever. And so she told me, if you close your eyes in the dream, then, I did this one wrong. Shoot. If you close your eyes in the dream and you hold them really tight, when you open them, you'll be awake. And then that actually worked for me, where I had a reoccurring nightmare. I tried it out. It actually worked. And then because of that, I never had that nightmare again. And so I just adopted that, like, from the experience that, yeah, this actually worked that one time. I'm going to use it again. And so that was my way out. And I did this process for quite a few months, where I just constantly, every night would write down my dreams, and nothing really happened for the longest time. But I was pretty dedicated because I was just like a little kid and was like, what else am I going to do every day? So I had a lot more, I guess. I mean, the other side is I didn't have to wake up for work the next day. So when I would wake up in the middle of the night, it's like, yeah, I can take the time to write this down because I'm just a kid. I'm not going to be groggy the next day. And anyway, the more I did it, I remember I had this breakthrough where one night I was just doing a normal dream and I suddenly was like, wait a minute, is this a dream? And because every day, at least 3 times a day, I would ask myself, is this a dream? And look at my hand. Because I had established that habit over like months, in the dream, when I said, is this a dream? I just looked at my hand and there was there was a hand there, but there wasn't any like wrinkles or folds or anything. It was just like a straight like slab of skin. And I immediately knew, I was like, oh my God, this is a dream. I could control it. I could do stuff. And so I became aware that I was in a dream, and I started to try to make things happen. I was like, I'm going to fly. And for whatever reason, like doing my arms like a bird was how I visualized flying. And I started to fly in the dream. And then immediately I pretty much woke up, and I was like, dang. I was like sad because it was over so quick, but I was also like, oh my God, it does work. All these months was not for, vain. Like it really, truly can do something. And so I got really, really excited about it. And I ended up like getting really into it at that point. And just like every night I was lucid dreaming. And the more and more I lucid dreamed, the more, or rather the longer that I could go in the dream before it would, I would call it like, before it collapses. Like you can only lucid dream for X amount of time, and then the dream's going to kind of collapse in on itself. But that amount of time got longer and longer, and I could do more and more. And it got to the point where, I would have a dream every single night, and within a few minutes of doing the dream, I would realize this is a dream. And I didn't even really have to look at my hand in the dream anymore. I would just be like, oh, I'm dreaming. And I would just start like, oh, I'll be at my grandma's house now. And suddenly I'm there. It was like I could snap my finger and I would just be wherever I wanted. And I could just summon up any person that I wanted, which was most of the time people I knew in real life, like friends of mine. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to just hang out with my friend in my dream. But sometimes I would like be curious. I wonder what would happen if I like spun up someone that doesn't exist. Like, can I just like create someone that isn't real? And I think in that case, most of the time I was probably, bringing to life someone that I had seen before and just didn't remember or something. Like it was probably still based off of a real life person, but different enough that it seemed like, oh, this is a completely new person that doesn't exist in the real world. And so anyway, it was a ton of fun, and I was doing it every single night. And then the scary part of the story comes in where I'd been doing it for a while, and I noticed that I was starting to have some nightmares while I was lucid dreaming. And in my mind, I was like, oh, I just need to, like, exercise more control. Like, it's almost like a superpower in here, and I just need to, like, be stronger, I guess, and force my will upon my own dream, because this is just me. Like, and that's the other thing too, is like any person I met in my dream was just also me, and any place that I was in was me. And if I picked up a cup in my dream, I was picking up part of me. Like, everything was myself. So I knew, like, oh, any bad dreams I have are just also me subconsciously creating that, and the conscious version of me in the dream needs to exercise more control over the unconscious version of me, which gets a little bit kind of brain twisty when you start thinking about it too much. But the dreams, like, I started exercising more control, and initially, like, I felt like, oh, I'm in more control. Oh, that's a weird piece. Wait, where do you get that piece from? I wonder if I put the right piece on here. I think I did. Oh, I didn't look at the instructions though. There's some of these are a little bit confusing, I will say. Okay, I must put these on upside down. Anyway, so I started to exercise more control. Initially, I felt like I was taking back control, and I would squash the bad dreams kind of as quickly as they would start to spin up. But it just seemed like as time went on, more and more nights I was having bad dreams and having to deal with that. And then started to get to the point where it was like every time I lucid dream, I'm having some sort of bad dream, attached to that, which was annoying, but also a little bit concerning to me at the time, because it started to feel like, even though I would try to exercise control, I didn't feel like I was succeeding as much. And the dream started to get a little more scary. And so I was starting to have a lot less fun, because it wasn't just like, oh, I'm hanging out with all my imaginary friends, flying around, doing whatever I want. Like, this was great. And now it's not feeling so great anymore. And it was like, I started to debate whether I should keep doing the lucid dreaming stuff. And I started to get a little nervous, because I was like, well, my house is scary and a lot of weird stuff happens in this house. And I wonder if any of that is leaking into my dream experience, or, something like that. And so I started to wonder, like, more or less like, oh, I wonder if I'm opening a door I don't want to be opening to something I don't understand. And because I was, I guess the other part was, like, in the lucid dreaming, I was pushing the boundaries a bit. I was trying to lucid dream longer and do more. And so I was wondering, like, well, maybe I'm taking this too far. And so one night was lucid dreaming, and pretty quickly into the dream, it started to go bad. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to exercise more control. I'm going to, like, force my own will. But the difference was, like, this time it felt like there was something different. Like, there was something else in the dream with me that wasn't me, because I always remembered, like, hey, everything you encounter is just yourself. So if there's anything scary in this dream, it's just you manifesting that, and the manifestation is also you. So there's nothing to be afraid of. But then it started to feel like, I don't know, this almost feels like it's something outside of me, that I'm now experiencing. And so I tried to exercise more will, and it didn't seem like it was doing anything. And I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm gonna exercise like an intense amount. I'm gonna put like all my heart into this thing. And it was like, I don't know if you ever watched Dragon Ball Z, where they're like powering up and they have to like scream for 10 minutes to get to the next level. And that's what it felt like I did. And then there's like this sort of shadow that was in the dream, and it felt like it was laughing at me. Like it thought me trying to reassert control over the dream was like the funniest thing, and how foolish I was, or whatever. And that then got kind of scary to me. And so then there was sort of like this realization that the control I thought I had was maybe an illusion, and that actually this sort of entity was the thing that was actually in control, and had just allowed me to think I was in control and to think that I was squashing the bad dreams, when in reality it was just making me think that, and it was actually in control. And so when I tried to exercise the most control ever, then it was like, ha ha ha, now you actually don't have any control here. So then it felt like, well, now my only option is to, I don't know why, in the moment I was like, I need to figure out what this thing's name is, which didn't really make sense to me at the time. But yeah, it was like, I need to, I'm also using the wrong pieces here. What's going on? Oh, okay. I think I found the right one. But it's like, if I can find out what this thing's name is, I'll have control over it, which I think is like a demonic thing. But at the time, I was just a kid. I didn't know that. But for some reason, just like the instinct in me was like, hey, you got to get it to tell you its name, and then you can, have power over it again. And so I was screaming like, tell me your name, tell me your name. And it was just like laughing and laughing. And so then I felt like, well, now my only option is just to end this dream. Like, that's the only tool left in my tool belt, is to use the power that you're supposed to have of like being able to exit a dream when you're ready to exit. And so mine was like, close your eyes really tight, and then when you open them, you'll be awake. And so that was like all I had left. So I just closed my eyes as tight as I could, feeling like this thing was like growing and getting closer to me. And then I like open my eyes, and I'm laying in my bed, and my mom comes running in, and she's like, more or less along the lines of like, Colton, are you awake? Or like, you're screaming. Are you okay? Are you okay? And so as she's saying that, I'm like, oh my God, when I was screaming this, like, tell me your name, tell me your name. When I was screaming it in my dream, I must have been like actually screaming in real life. That's how like intensely I was trying to like get the name or whatever. And so I was just like, oh my God, that was insane. And I'm not moving. And I think there was like an element of like sleep paralysis. So I'm just laying there with my eyes open, realizing like like kind of like being hit by a wave of information and realizing everything. And so my mom's like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And she's like over my bed now, like waving her hand over my eyes. And I kind of like stopped thinking about what just happened. And I'm looking at the fan, was when I woke up. And I switched from looking at the fan to looking at her hand, realizing like, oh my gosh, I'm awake. And then the hand kind of stops moving, and I realize that the fingers are too long. And immediately I'm like, oh my God, I'm still dreaming, and that's not my mom. And as soon as I have that realization, oh, we lost battery. I got to switch over to another battery here. But as soon as I have that that realization, my mom or whatever it was drops the hand and suddenly is like right next to my ear and just whispers the name. And then of course at that point, finally I had control over my body again. And I just sort of like jump and like move over and look at that direction, and there's no one there. And I just sort of feel like a shadow. I didn't really see a shadow, but it felt like a shadow, like sort of faded into the corner of my room where oftentimes a lot of like bad vibes came from, which was towards the closet. And there was like a breaker box in the closet, and my parents had always kind of wondered like maybe you're feeling weird because of the electromagnetic stuff in the breaker box, which they had researched online, like so much electricity is going through there that it can sometimes, like people say that it can affect them or whatever. But not like the cuckoo stuff, like people like being afraid of Wi-Fi or whatever. But anyway, so then I'm just like in my room for sure awake. I realized I was half awake where I was looking at my room, but there was also some hallucinating going on. And so like as soon as that happened, no lie, I was like, well, I'm done lucid dreaming. And I think I burned the book that I had, my dream journal, but I definitely at least threw it away, and I stopped looking at my palm, and I was like, I'm shutting that down. And I didn't, like, as soon as I did that, there was no further dreams or anything, to that effect. It was very, very odd that it just like so abruptly ended after such a chaotic little experience. But yeah. So, to go back to your question, like, do you believe in ghosts? And it's like, well, I don't. But I also don't know how to like account for that experience or the other experiences that I had. And honestly, I wasn't the only one who had experiences at that house. Like both of my parents have, and my dad is a very like, I don't believe in that stuff. I'm a tough guy. And then he admitted to me in more recent years, like that he experienced some stuff that kind of freaked him out. And he was like, oh, I don't sleep in certain rooms with the door closed anymore. And I'm like, okay. And you don't think that's a problem? Like, admittedly, you're not sleeping with the door closed, but that's fine to you. It seems strange to me, but okay. Now what's happening? Oh, this is a panel. Oh no. Okay, wait, we can just I saved it. We're good. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I still kind of don't really believe in anything too spooky. But which way does this go? I guess it goes this way. But yeah, I have had some weird experiences in that house. And things where after I moved out, I've never had a problem again. But in times where I've gone back and stayed, I've had some sorts of experiences, never as intense as that, but enough to still be like, huh, it feels like it's this place specifically and not other places. My mom's had the place like blessed on a number of occasions, and it's wild. This is spooky. I'm scared. Oh my God, there goes my peaceful night's sleep. I'm sorry, guys. I probably shouldn't have told that story on a photography stream. But yeah, what can you do? Okay, we are at the tail end of this build. And actually, I forgot to turn this back on. Sorry about that. But we're back. We have our car almost built. It's pretty big, actually. I guess we're doing the wheels now. And it looks like there's going to be like a cap, I guess, that goes in here. So I think this goes on the inside. Do you guys believe in spookies? Spooky boys? Oh, I guess we have to put the tire on now. Am I missing a tire thing? I guess I'm not. Okay. Okay, we have our Pirelli. I'm surprised they don't say Pirelli on them, to be honest. And then I think this actually needs to go through just a hair more so that this can fit in here. And I think we have to put the stickers on them. Come back out, please. Okay. So we slide this in somewhere. Oh. Up here? Oh, wow. This is a lowrider then. I lock my doors, check under the bed, check the closet, then I go to bed. Yeah, that have a jump scare when I turn the camera back on. That would be cruel. I'd be a bad man for that. I actually sleep with all of my doors unlocked, and I don't even close the doors other than obviously like the door to the outside of my apartment. But my bedroom door, that sucker's just open, and I just stare down an empty hallway at night. I'm facing the hallway. But, oh, I wonder if there's, this one doesn't want to go on as easily. Maybe I should have done the wheel first. I don't think I believe in ghosts at this point. I don't have any personal interactions yet. Oh, wow. Yeah, when I was a kid, I just thought like, oh, everybody just has really intense, weird situations that happen to them. It's normal. And then I hear people say stuff like that, and I'm like, wait, so it's not normal? What? Ouch. When do we put on the... I think we're almost done, which, thank goodness, because I'm kind of getting a wee bit tired. Okay. So we slide this bad boy in. And this one goes through... Oh, okay. It'd be cool if this had, like, an ability to, like, turn the wheels in the front. Like, that'd be ridiculous, but it would be kind of cool. I actually did a go-kart tournament recently, and I have done it a few times before, but this time I actually got third place in the tournament, and I was so jazzed about it. But also I was like really impressed because everybody in the tournament was just so... Oh, God, that hurts so bad. But I need to like make it go further. Dang it. Oh, I just made it worse. Maybe I can use another piece to do this because this is killing my little hands. Dang. Okay. Maybe if I pull this out, push the whole thing. Oh, shoot. Okay, I think we got it. Are you talking about little racing cars, go-karts? Yeah. Yeah, we have yeah, like go-karts that do like 50 miles an hour. So they're not like professional level go-karts, but they are you know, they're fun. I guess you can do either side of this thing. Wheel time. But yeah, I always enjoy going and racing those. And the community was really cool because everyone was like super jazzed, even if they weren't the ones in particular who were winning. It was like they were just happy to see. Okay, I put that on weird, so that's great. Maybe no one will notice. But yeah, they were just like, everyone was rooting for everyone else, and it was like, wow, this is just a nice little time. Nobody's taking it too seriously, but yet they are taking it serious enough for it to be fun, because it is then challenging, which I liked. And they do it every 2 weeks, so I'm like, I think this is where I'm going to be at every second Tuesday. Okay, wow, we are so close. We have like one more piece to do, I think. But I am still worried about the missing pieces that are just laying here. I guess they're extras. There's quite a few, though. We had a raceway here, but they closed it up now. It is a huge Amazon warehouse. Yeah, they actually do go-karting also at the Formula One track here in Austin, which is really cool. And I want to go do that. I want to take like a go-karting class to get even a little bit better. So here's the car. And it's not focusing for whatever reason, but that's the car. And then here's some nice pictures they did of the real life car. Well, actually, I guess one is the real life one, and one is the, I don't know. It doesn't exactly look the same. I guess it does, actually. So one's the real life car, and one's this guy. Got a few little pieces left over, but yeah, here we go. All of that time. And we have our Formula One. So apparently, we're going to test this out. Okay. Maybe you got to really really get it locked up there. Oh. Okay. I might have also maybe I made the wheels axle a little too tight, but yeah, it's working. That's cool. And it really picks up a lot of dust on the wheels, just like real Pirelli tires. Nice. Well, yeah, so this is our Formula One Mercedes. And so what we'll do now, not on this stream since it took so long to build this, but we'll do like a little photographic shoot with this thing and see how close to the real deal we can photograph it, like with lighting and maybe with some kind of background, or maybe we'll like green screen in a background for it. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to try and see if we can photograph this similar to how they photograph real F1 cars utilizing a macro lens. So that's going to be the goal for this one. And then I guess I just throw away these little pieces. I don't think they belong in anything, so who knows. Sweet build, vroom vroom, P1. Yeah, P1. Heck yeah. Always wanted to photo vintage bowling alleys, roller skating rinks, etc. while we still have them. Yeah, we actually have a couple roller skating rinks here in Austin. And we have a few bowling alleys. I just photographed one the other day. I'm going to just throw away these little pieces of plastic and maybe see if I can recycle them later. Oh my God, I almost just dropped it. Can you imagine? Drop it, shatters. That looks pretty cool. Nice. Now I'm going to have to get a Ferrari one. Heck yeah. Well, I'm appreciative of you guys hanging out with me as we built that. I think it took probably a bit longer than I intended for it to. I wonder if my other camera even recorded for that long. Let me see. It did not. So at some point it stopped recording, but what can you do? Yeah, thanks. I think it came out looking pretty good. I'm impressed. A nice little build here. But I think that is also going to bring me towards about the end of the live stream. I definitely have a few videos coming out. So again, on this Saturday, I have a video talking about my results of any goals I had in 2024, as well as what the goals are going to be for 2025. So always like to recap that stuff. And then next week I will be installing the art for the gallery. It's come up way faster than I thought. It was like always so far away, and then suddenly, boom, it's here. But next weekend is, I think next Friday or Saturday is the first day that it will be open to the public, and it'll run till March 8th, I want to say. And then the reception will be on February 8th, but I will also be planning to photograph some stuff, get some video of some stuff, so that for those of you who are in New Zealand or up in Massachusetts and some of these other places, you guys can also get to experience it, because I'll try to put together like some kind of video summary of the gallery. And then after that, I have a few different videos lined up of things that I think you guys will be interested in. So some camera related stuff, some reviews, some comparisons, some experiences. So January and February are going to be pretty stacked full of video stuff coming out. So I'm pretty excited for it, and I hope you guys enjoy them. If you need to get a Pentax Lego style option B NB 1000, or you need to get a Pentax, yes. I think that would be actually really cool to build too. I wasn't sure if this would be like a fun build. I do think a build like that would be a little more fun, because those Legos are a little easier to put together. These are a little harder to do on the Technic ones, but yeah, that would be really cool. I do have another Lego based thing that will be coming up, but it's going to be intended to be a surprise, so I won't give away the details of that. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for the stream. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and anyone who watches the stream after the fact. Usually I say this at the beginning, but if you're watching it and it's not live, feel free to comment as well. I always go back and respond to any comments, even if they weren't left while it was live. So you can still participate even if you're not watching it at the time that it's live. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you want to see in future videos or future live streams, let me know that as well. I also have a zine that is on sale, or I guess I should say it's for sale. And it will be also available at the reception as well. And I think that's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a little like. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and then you can join the journey. But otherwise, for now, I'm Colton. I'll see you in the next one.